Welcome to my YouTube channel, AutoMark. Today we're exploring one of the most critical yet often overlooked aircraft in the United States Air Force inventory, the Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker. This aerial refueling tanker has been the backbone of American air mobility and power projection for over 6 decades, and as we move through 2026, it continues to play an absolutely essential role in enabling global military operations by extending the range and endurance of combat aircraft worldwide. The KC-135 Stratotanker was developed in the 1950s during the early Cold War era, when the United States Air Force recognized the need for a jet-powered aerial refueling aircraft. Boeing designed the KC-135 based on their 367-80 prototype, which also served as the basis for the iconic 707 commercial airliner. The first KC-135 flew in 1956, and the aircraft entered operational service in 1957. Production continued until 1965, with a total of 732 aircraft built. As of 2026, approximately 396 KC-135s remain in active service with the Air Force, Air National Guard, and Air Force Reserve, making it one of the oldest aircraft still flying in the American military. What makes the KC-135 so vital to military operations is its ability to refuel other aircraft in flight. This capability dramatically extends the range and endurance of fighters, bombers, reconnaissance aircraft, and even other tankers. Without aerial refueling, many military operations simply would not be possible. Fighter jets with combat loads have relatively limited range, but with multiple aerial refuelings from KC-135s, they can fly across oceans and reach targets anywhere in the world. Strategic bombers can remain airborne for extended periods, maintaining a constant nuclear deterrence presence or conducting long-range conventional strikes. The KC-135 uses the flying boom method of aerial refueling, which involves a rigid telescoping tube that extends from the rear of the tanker to connect with a receptacle on the receiving aircraft. This boom is operated by a boom operator who lies in a prone position at the rear of the aircraft, controlling the boom's movement to make contact with the receiver. The flying boom system can transfer fuel at rates up to 1,000 gallons per minute, making it significantly faster than the probe and drogue method used by other tanker aircraft. This speed is crucial when refueling large aircraft like bombers or when multiple fighters need fuel quickly during combat operations. The aircraft can carry approximately 200,000 pounds of fuel for transfer to other aircraft, though the actual offload capacity depends on mission requirements, distance to the refueling area, and fuel needed for the KC-135's own flight. The tanker has a maximum takeoff weight of around 322,500 pounds and is powered by 4 CFM International F108 turbofan engines, each producing approximately 22,000 pounds of thrust. These engines were installed during a re-engining program in the 1980s and 1990s that replaced the original Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojet engines, dramatically improving fuel efficiency, thrust, and reliability. The KC-135 has a wingspan of 130 feet and a length of 136 feet. It can operate at altitudes up to 50,000 feet and has a maximum speed of approximately 530 miles per hour. The crew typically consists of 3 members: pilot, co-pilot, and boom operator, though some variants carry additional crew members for specialized missions. The aircraft's range without aerial refueling is approximately 1,500 miles with maximum fuel offload, but with aerial refueling from other tankers, KC-135s themselves can fly intercontinental distances to support forward-deployed forces. Now, let's discuss the costs associated with the KC-135 Stratotanker. The original procurement cost back in the 1950s was approximately $4 million per aircraft. Adjusted for inflation to 2026, that would be roughly $45 to $50 million in today's money. However, since no new KC-135s are being built, this is purely a historical figure. The real costs today involve operating and maintaining this aging fleet. The cost per flight hour for a KC-135 is approximately $13,000 to $15,000 as of 2026. This is actually quite economical for such a large aircraft, especially considering its critical mission. However, maintenance costs have been rising steadily as the aircraft age. The youngest KC-135 is over 60 years old, and keeping these aircraft airworthy requires extensive inspections, structural repairs, and component replacements. The Air Force has invested billions of dollars in various modernization programs to keep the KC-135 fleet viable until replacement aircraft can be fielded. Major upgrade programs have included the re-engining effort mentioned earlier, which cost approximately $8 billion for the entire fleet, but provided dramatic improvements in performance and efficiency. Avionics modernization programs have replaced outdated navigation and communication systems with modern digital equipment, improving safety and capability. The Block 45 upgrade program installed new autopilot systems, fuel quantity indication systems, and other critical improvements. More recently, the Air Force has been installing new boom operator stations with advanced vision systems that provide better situational awareness during refueling operations. The KC-135 has an impressive operational history spanning numerous conflicts and operations. During the Vietnam War, tankers enabled fighter-bombers to strike targets throughout North Vietnam and Laos. In Operation Desert Storm, KC-135s flew thousands of sorties, refueling coalition aircraft around the clock. The tankers have supported operations in Afghanistan and Iraq continuously for over 2 decades, providing the aerial refueling that allows fighters and surveillance aircraft to maintain persistent coverage over those regions. Beyond combat operations, KC-135s support humanitarian missions, disaster relief operations, and routine training exercises worldwide. The global presence of KC-135s is remarkable. The aircraft are stationed at bases across the United States and at forward locations in Europe, the Pacific, and the Middle East. This global positioning allows the Air Force to respond rapidly to emerging situations anywhere in the world. When a crisis develops, KC-135s are often the first aircraft deployed, establishing the aerial refueling infrastructure that subsequent forces will need. Despite the KC-135's remarkable longevity and capability, the Air Force recognizes that these aircraft cannot fly forever. The KC-46 Pegasus, built by Boeing, is intended to gradually replace the KC-135 fleet. However, the KC-46 program has faced significant delays and technical issues, and as of 2026, the KC-135 remains the primary tanker in the Air Force inventory. Current plans call for some KC-135s to continue flying into the 2040s, which would mean these aircraft could potentially serve for nearly 90 years, an absolutely unprecedented achievement in aviation history. The structural integrity of aircraft this old requires constant monitoring. The Air Force conducts regular inspections looking for fatigue cracks, corrosion, and other age-related issues. When problems are found, repairs are made with modern materials and techniques. The institutional knowledge required to maintain these aircraft is itself a challenge, as newer mechanics must learn systems and procedures developed decades ago. Looking at the strategic picture, the KC-135 Stratotanker represents an absolutely critical enabling capability for American air power. Without aerial refueling, the United States could not project power globally as it does today. Thank you for watching AutoMark, and subscribe for more military aviation content.